You know what it is, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy.
You know who it is, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy.
Odie, Maurice, Odie, Maurice.
Maurice, Odie, Maurice, Odie.
Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy.
Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy.
Hey, oh.
Yes, Mo?
Are you ready?
Let's go!
Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy. It's the Black and Snerdy podcast with Odie and Maurice.
Hello, hello, hello. Hey, party people.
No. Hey, party people.
What's wrong with hey, party people?
Party people! Swoop, there it is. Oh, shit. Why don't I have that as a...
You should. I'm surprised you don't have that.
Well, I've been tinkering with other things.
You've been cantankerous?
All
yes.
Right. First off, that was an off-mic conversation. Not to be brought on mic. So I'm going to need you to silencio.
Fine. Well, I can't really silencio. How can I introduce us?
Yes, that's a good question. Maybe focus on that.
Hello, everyone. I'm Odie.
And I'm Maurice.
And you're listening to the Black and Snerdy podcast.
Yes, you are. We are here for another episode of the Black and Snerdy podcast. Episode 46. We are dangerously close to getting to the 50th episode of this very podcast. Boy, oh boy. How are you doing?
I'm pretty okay. I'm a little hungry.
Okay.
I'm a little
bit rock and roll.
And I'm a little tired. My brain kind of hurts. But overall, I'm really grateful and excited to be doing another episode with you.
All right, that's cool. I'm also. Oh, well, there you go. I'm doing well. Very bored. Very bored. This is we're recording this during my clean month, and boy, the days just drag. The days are dragging like a motherfucker.
Sorry, I'm such a boring...
First off, how selfish are you to insert yourself into my world and how I'm doing? I just got finished saying that it's my clean month, and somehow that means that translates to, Odie is the cause of the boredom.
I'm just saying, I'm spending time with you, and I feel like I'm a very fun companion.
You should have a higher opinion of yourself, because you effectively are insinuating that I need to drink in order to hang out.
No,
with you. That's what you
just said.
Well,
that spending time hanging out with me is so boring.
Run that back, listeners.
You
no
can't
way said
take it.
Spending time with you is equivalent to being bored. I just said I am bored. Okay, the days are long and arduous. You're not here all the fucking time. So I don't know how that could translate to what you say. You're the one who's insinuating something else. So maybe focus on that instead of focusing on what weird nonsense you have concocted into your imaginary brain. Okay?
Are you trying to say...
And now it's fucking hot in here because you've got me riled up.
You're always riled up.
I'm not always
you
riled
are
up.
Literally riled up 90% of the time.
First off, that's way too high. I will give you 65% of the time.
Way too low.
The other times I'm asleep.
You're riled up just then.
Because you're riling me up. That's what's happening. You're riling me up.
You know which way I think that you can unrile yourself?
How?
Is if we answer some questions.
Yes.
All right. First question.
Q&A with O&M.
Oh, okay. I was going to say Mo and O.
Which one is better? Q&A with Mo and O or Q&A with O&M?
Okay, well, people write
Because if I say Q&A with M and O, then it's just Q&A with me. Because I'm Mo.
Anyway.
I'm going to snatch those eyes out of your goddamn head. You roll them again.
Do you see how cantankerous you're being?
Because you're not allowing me to flow.
If you were given any car to cherish for the rest of your life, which would you choose?
Chrysler 300C. That was before Cat Williams made that bit about that infamous bit about how Chrysler 300Cs are like the Lexus for niggas, but like whatever. Like I that was my favorite car. I always thought that was a classy car. I took my prom. Well, I was driven in a car in that car to my prom with my prom date.
Oh, we had a Ford Fusion 2007.
A Ford Fusion.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was pretty big. It was nice.
It was a nice car.
It was nice. It wasn't like fancy, but it was nice.
Okay. Yeah.
Got us where we needed to be.
I forget what we were listening to in the car. I feel like it was like it scored the night. It made the night like feel a lot more.
We were like an hour late to prom.
Shout out to my prom date. And shout out to all of your various children.
I was waiting for it.
What?
For me, and in my head when they said that you'd be cherishing this car for the rest of your life, I'm assuming that the car is going to run extremely well for the rest of the time.
Or you can do what one of those suburban dudes do and just like spend your weekends just fixing it up. Yeah, just like fixing the carburetor.
But I personally
rebuilding the engine.
like that. To me is not. I don't want to. That's
the
not
only two
cherishing.
things I know about cars. That is cherishing. Like actually doing maintenance on a car is cherishing. Like, because it means that you care so much about this car that you want to
keep it up.
Yeah, put in the energy for the upkeep.
But I don't want to have stupid upkeep. I want like normal, regular car upkeep.
Well, you don't drive, so like you don't, and I don't drive either. So like you don't, like we don't know what
like
the regular amount of upkeep is.
Tires, oil change, putting in window wiper fluid. Right. But I don't want my carburetor or my engine to just start like fucking up, or the radiator stop working, or the brakes to be. Well, you do got to replace your brakes pretty often after a certain amount of time.
See, this is how little I know about cars. I was about to say, do cars have a radiator?
They do. I don't know what it does, but there's one in there. Like I don't know if the radiator in a car is the same thing that a radiator in your house does, but it's in there. Something. It's doing something.
Okay.
But I would choose a Jeep, purple one.
Okay.
I think it's a Jeep Wrangler. I think it is. I'm looking it up just to confirm. I think this is the Jeep Wrangler, but it's not the one that has the flimsy top. It's like the full metal.
It has like bars in the back.
No, not that one. It's like
no
the
opening or whatever.
It's like the real.
It's the Clueless car. It's the one that they
Clueless.
drive up
in
fucking Clueless.
Because you want to know why I don't want that one? Because did you ever see that movie, The Happening? With Mark Wahlberg and John Leguizamo.
Terrible. John Leguizamo was.
Yeah, he was the father.
Oh,
he was his best friend.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
In one scene in the movie, in the movie, John Leguizamo, spoiler, dies. But the way he dies, they're in a Jeep.
Trees. It has to be the trees.
They're in a Jeep Wrangler, but the one with the little with the like plastic in the back, and because basically like, the trees are pushing out spores that are causing people to kill themselves.
Yes.
And so when they're driving in the car, John Leguizamo looks up and he sees there's like a tiny slit in the car, and then next thing you know, the driver drives into a tree and people die. So that is,
so you want to avoid spores.
Yes.
Okay.
And just any like having a car that has plastic on it, I can just only imagine one. What if it's cold?
Why does it have to be a Jeep then? Why not a different car?
I like Jeep Wranglers. I like what they look like.
Do you just like instead of like the practicality of a Jeep Wrangler?
But they have metal ones that are all metal all around.
Okay.
Or with steel, whatever that is around the car. The cars are made out of. It's fully.
Show me a picture. Show me a picture. Let me see. Let me see what this looks like for the listeners. Oh, so it's kind of like a fucking Hummer, basically, except it's a smaller Hummer.
Okay, all right, okay.
It's like
I guess you could kind of call it
like
that.
like it's basically
it's a less obnoxious.
Yes.
I have a small ping Hummer.
Yeah. Okay, so I've always wondered this. So like, if it's a fast car. Or if it's a big car, that means that you have a small dick?
No, I think that I think it's just like if it's like big and expensive, or even I think it's regardless of how big it is. Mm-hmm. I think it's like sometimes it could be big, sometimes it could just be expensive.
Now, does this translate to other modes of transportation, like like, ooh, like he clearly has a small dick if he's in like the ultra rich class of flights, you know? Like, do all people in business class have like different sized penises? Like if you go to like business class and you look around, it's just like, oh my God, like that's fucking John Jackson. That's John Jackson, the fucking top insurance salesman in the Northwest. He's in business class. He must have a small penis.
No, you're talking about just buying expensive things instead of like having.
Or if you have a jet, if you own
having
a jet.
like a jet, yes.
Does
a lot
Drake
of times,
have a small penis?
People will be
because
like,
he has a fucking
his own plane,
from
Toronto Air or whatever.
Yes.
It's like people say when a guy has all these, like, maybe it's like a big car, a huge house, like overcompensating with things. They're like, well, what are you overcompensating for? That's it.
Sure.
No?
Sure.
But, I concede to having my Jeep Wrangler with, I want it to be purple with,
like Barney colors?
Barney colored purple? Sure.
Yes.
Barney
is purple.
I would like the tires to have. This is gonna look like it's a cue car.
It sounds it's gonna be gold or silver, whatever the fuck metal.
gold. Like what are those hubcaps?
Yeah,
those things.
Do you want them to spin like this is the Big Timers?
I don't need that
music
because
video?
that is actually pretty obnoxious for the car, and it's like those things.
Like it's
get
a John
bent.
Cena championship belt.
Yes, there. Yeah, no, I don't want that.
For all the listeners out there, I love wrestling, so that is a great reference.
Okay, now your turn to ask your question.
All right, here we go. Fuck. Well, what is your favorite book to reread?
Well,
Who Moved My Cheese?
how many times have you read that?
Like 5 times. In my lifetime?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 5-7 times.
I
like to wait a bit to go back to read it because like it's like a motivational book. It breaks down the different like motivations for people. Like if there's 4 mice and it's like they're conditioned to have cheese, and then somebody moved it. There's the one mouse who will just stay there and be like, I'm entitled to this cheese, like I'm gonna wait until it comes back. There's the one mouse who's like, oh, well, where the fuck did the cheese go? I'm gonna go out and find it on my own. And there's another mouse who's like, I will wait a while before going out. And then the other mouse will be like he'll go out to go get the cheese, but he'll be like obstinate, like he'll be worrisome that he'll never find cheese,
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be an allegory for the 4 types of people who, like based on any sort of like change or upheaval in their life, like it's supposed to be like, these are the 4 reactions, you can either do nothing about it. You can do something about it. You can have trepidations while doing something about it. You can have trepidations while doing nothing about it or whatever. Like all these things that kind of fuel you. And I just thought that was like the first sort of like self-help style book that I ever read because I had a stepdad who made me read on the weekends because I was watching too many cartoons. Well, joke's on you, dude, because I still watch cartoons. So... who really won?
Obviously him, because you remember this book so often.
Well,
you love the book.
I was gonna say something very mean, but
I'm sure you would have.
I'm not going to because I hope he's doing much better. What book would you now? The caveat is that your favorite book to reread. I assume this means from beginning to end. Not just pick it up and then walk away to start another book.
Punch you in
or
the
just
face.
like reread the first like 3 or 4 chapters over and over again. Like, what's your favorite book to read from cover to cover? Reread it. And which Harry Potter is it? Which Harry Potter is it? It's probably the Goblet of Fire. I think that's the bigger one, right? The green one.
Goblet of Fire I think is the biggest. Well, besides, I think it's the biggest one. It's either
it's definitely
Goblet of Fire or it's either Goblet of Fire or maybe the Half-Blood Prince. No, the Half-Blood Prince was actually a bit shorter. It might be the Deathly Hallows, might be the longest one. Either way, it's the Harry Potter series because I've read the whole series at this point. I used to read it once a year, every summer.
Mm-hmm. I think Susan did that. Like, she does it once a year.
I would do it once a year, and then I took a little bit of a break, and then I think starting back in because I was working at Audible around 2015. Then I got the audiobooks, and then that really changed the game because I could just play it and listen to it. So at this point, I probably have read the books like 20 times.
Okay. Like, read them, and you're including the audio books.
Yes.
Okay. Fair.
All right.
What's this last question?
Oh, okay. This is a good one. What traits do the women in your family share?
Big asses!
Oh, my God. Sorry to Miss Cassandra.
It's a joke because it's not true at all. It's not.
To your Auntie Lindia. I'm really sorry.
No, they're fucking bougie. All of the women in my, and I guess that kind of. No, I don't know if I'm attracted to bougie women. I don't think so. What the fuck was that noise?
I was saying,
Anyhow, I would say there's some they're you know what? I'm not gonna call them bougie. I'm gonna say they are women of a certain standard, which I appreciate. They hold themselves to a higher standard, and therefore they appreciate things of a higher standard and of a higher ilk. And yeah, so shout out to them. Shout out to, first off, don't name drop my mom like that, okay? Like, don't do that. I didn't do that to your mom.
You've said my mother's name so many times.
Just recently I was talking about
I know you weren't talking
Susan.
about Susan.
Yeah, I was talking about
We
my best
know
friend's
that.
wife. Which, by the way, shout out to them. They just got married.
Congratulations.
Sam and Susan. Sam, who was just on the podcast a couple episodes ago, finally got married. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the things that made me happy section.
Okay, so for me, the women in my family are strong-willed, opinionated, adventurous, brave, courageous, loud.
Yes, they are.
Why are you making these faces?
I mean, like, they're brave and courageous.
Yes.
They could just be one.
No, they're both of them.
It's like a hat on a hat.
It doesn't matter. They have both hats. They wear many hats.
Okay. Just saying. If they're brave, they're already courageous.
It doesn't matter. They're both.
Ornery means prankster and gobbledygook.
That is what the American Dictionary said.
Wow.
And it's true.
I might
Because
have to-
look at how cantankerous and ornery you are currently being.
I might have to look up the British dictionary just to get a second opinion.
They are fun, and they are kind. They are loving.
Are they patients? Like, Jesus. They're all these things?
Why are you trying to tell me?
How many traits did it ask for?
It said, what do the traits with an S, plural. And I'm telling you the traits that I see in the women in my family.
Well, pick three. Like,
No,
come
I
on,
don't
you're-
want to have to.
We don't want like a whole like.
It's a list.
Just a whole listicle.
The
of
women
this.
in
This
my
isn't
family
BuzzFeed right now.
are awesome, okay?
There we go. The women in your family all share awesomeness, okay? And having met a bunch of the women in your family, shout out to them. That was a fun beach day. I can back that up.
Are you done?
Are you?
I am done now.
I am done as well.
So now we're going to go into our favorite part.
Actually, before we do, we should probably do the RIPs first.
Okay. That is true. We're going to do that first. Are you ready and prepared?
I am. So whenever you're ready.
All right. So we lost some people this week that were very significant to the culture to Black culture and just the culture as a whole in two different ways. The first is Albert Woodfox, who he was a part of the Angola 3, an former Black Panther who was in prison for he was in prison for decades, but he was spent 43 years in solitary confinement. I want to say that he and I think the two others in the Angola 3 were in prison or in a solitary confinement. It's like the longest time at one singular, like a person spent in solitary confinement. He was released from jail 6 years ago and has been like, he wrote a book and has just been going on all these different speeches around the country and the world talking about like abolition, etc. But he died this week from at age 75 from complications due to COVID-19, which is, I mean, this stupid virus is continuing to wreak havoc on our world, and just sending all of our love to his family and his friends. And then we lost one of the brightest stars in our galaxy, Nichelle Nichols, who played Uhura in Star Trek. She died. Her family said that last night, my mother, Nichelle Nichols, succumbed to natural causes and passed away. Her light, however, like the ancient galaxies now being seen for the first time, will remain for us and future generations to enjoy, learn from, and draw inspiration. Hers was a life well lived, and as such, a model for us all. I mean, I don't know how much, if you've ever watched the original Star Trek.
I watched a little bit of it. I especially watched that one episode of Futurama where they united all the original members of Star Trek together.
Oh, that's
and I will say that she was a trailblazer, like one of, if not the first black actors to be to star prominently in a work of science fiction. Trailblazer, and they're both gonna be missed. So.
Well, she told a story about how she was initially planning on leaving Star Trek, but that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King talked to her and was just like, we need you. This is an amazing role. And he said that he called her role the first non-stereotypical role portrayed by a black woman in television history, which, was true. And then after she left Star Trek, she worked with the space program, and she actually, what's her name? The black woman.
Hidden Fences?
Jameson. Jameson. How is her name?
Hidden Figures.
No, I've said no 3 times.
Yeah, but I said Hidden Fences first. That's the Jordan Temple play. Shout out to Jordan Temple.
Jameson. The astronaut.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm blanking on her name, Mae Jemison. Thank you very much.
Mae Jemison.
Mae Jemison has credited her as a inspiration, and I believe they met while she was in the space program, and she saw her speak, and she was like, "Wow, this is something that I can do." And so, if you are anyone who loves space and the stars, like I do, we know that she was such a integral part of little black girls and boys being able to see themselves doing something in the future and being in the future, since even now that is still difficult to find a multicultural place in these fictional stories. So thank you very much, Nichelle Nichols, for all that you've given to us and to TV and to space. You will be sorely missed by all of us, and we love you so much.
And now you are amongst the stars. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Well, now we can go into the
something sweet.
segment.
I just wanted to end on
it was
something
very
sweet. Yeah. All right. Now on to another of our more popular segments. It is time for our pop culture segment.
You're listening.
No, it is not. And I'm not editing that out. I'm not changing it. Sometimes I forget which one of these buttons does what, but it is what it is.
Do you want to talk about
It makes us human.
Nickelodeon first or Breonna Taylor?
As long as we end on something good and it either be good and juicy or something positive. Let us start with man. Let's get the truly sad shit out the way. So, or I don't know if it's yeah. Let's go with Breonna Taylor.
Okay, so Breonna, the Department of Justice has charged the 4 police officers that were involved in the death of Breonna Taylor in Louisville. And the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, said Breonna Taylor should be alive today, which, yes. And the charges are against former officers Joshua James and Brent Hankinson, along with the current officers Kelly Goodlett and Sergeant Kyle Meany. And the Louisville police said they're also seeking to fire Goodlett and Meany. Hankinson was the only officer charged that was actually on the scene the night of the killing. I can't say that, I'm happy for them being charged, but I'm not happy that this even has to be a thing, since I would want Breonna Taylor to be alive today, to be living her life, and not her family having to now go through this continued trauma of another trial, and who knows what's going to happen. But it's just like, this is going to be I could already see this being just as shitty as the previous trials were, and I just hope her family is doing okay.
Yeah, I personally am not going to celebrate just yet, and celebration probably is not the greatest word at the moment, but I will be paying close attention to this case because we've been here before. We have been in a situation where one of our people has been wronged, killed, murdered by fucking police. Police have been brought up on charges. They've been charged. They've been indicted. We get to a case and they are found not guilty, or like the charges dropped or some bullshit like that. And so I am going to not be cautiously optimistic, but I will just be cautiously observant. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
As far as this case is concerned, I'm going to cautiously observe how this continues, how this plays out. All I can hope for is justice in some shape or form. And we shall see.
Speaking of court cases.
Yes.
There is one that's been happening for a while that we've been talking about, Brittney Griner. So we spoke several months ago, Brittney Griner was arrested in Russia. They said that she had weed on her, weed pens, and they were seeking to put her in jail for possibly up to 10 years. And then I think the last update we talked about was maybe a month or so ago when she pleaded guilty, and then the trial continued. Now there has been a further update in that she has been convicted for a 9-year sentence. But apparently this is all part of the bigger plan for her lawyers, because I believe we mentioned this the last time, that even though she has stated her innocence, I guess the theory is that Russia was not going to ever let her go if she kept saying she was innocent. So by her pleading guilty and even going to this part and getting a conviction, the United States can continue with the efforts of getting her home, because I believe last week or the week before, they were talking with Russia about a prisoner swap. It was Griner and someone else that's been in jail there for a while. So I'm hoping that her being convicted on this sentence, that it does work according to plan of whatever her lawyers and the U.S. government thinks is going to be possible. I hope that this actually happens because at the end of the day, Griner is being basically used as a political pawn here. And we've been saying this since the beginning, but we already know if she was a man, if she wasn't, a lesbian, if she wasn't a black woman, a mask presenting person, that she would be home by now. Like, there's just so many different pieces of this puzzle, and they're all really shitty.
Yes, and yet again, I'm only going to keep a close eye on this case. I want her home. I want her to be back here. If we have to do some sort of prisoner exchange or what have you in order to get her back, I am. It's so hard to be cautiously optimistic in cases like these because I've seen how the justice system anywhere treats us, you know, and just all I have on my side is history to go off of. So, like, in my mind, worst case scenario, like, they say, oh, well, actually, she pled guilty, and so, no, she's going to spend the next 9 years. You said 9 years?
9 years.
9 years.
That might be 9 and a half.
Fucking gulag or whatever the fuck. Just serving out her sentence, which I hope is not the case. But like I said, I will pay attention to this case, see how it unfurls, and hopefully, with as much hope as one can muster, could bring her home, and bring her home.
Okay, so moving on to white shenanigans.
Sure.
Do you remember the conservative radio host Alex Jones?
Oh, the yelly, sweaty guy?
That is a very good.
Well, that could technically be me at this point.
Well, but the white yelly sweaty guy who's also an
at one point I was working on a Alex Jones impression, but then I was like, when will this be brought out? Like, and why? What kind of like comedy routine am I gonna be like, here's Alex Jones, and I'm just like, actually no, this is disgusting. I would rather focus on working on my Patrick Warburton impression than Alex Jones. But yes, I am familiar with the InfoWars big hunk of bullshit.
Yes, well, the big hunk of bullshit has been in court for the last I think it's been maybe a month or so, because if you don't remember, when Sandy Hook happened, the shooting in Sandy Hook happened in 2012, where the 20 children and 6 adults were killed at the school. He decided to, and this was probably one of the first big, big shootings to happen in recent years, and he decided to say that it was a hoax, and that these were bad actors, and that people were paid, the kids hadn't been killed, et cetera, which is like, who would say that about any shooting? But especially the shooting of little babies and their teachers.
Ones that involve children.
Like, it just was crazy. And so
that's how far we are. That we're that far gone as a culture to even allow such speculative, I hazard to say journalism, because he was more of a fucking radio disc jockey than a fucking journalist. No journalism at all, apparently, because he's up here spouting that nonsense. But that says so much about us as a fucking culture that we get to the point where we're just like, there's just a dude who's just peddling all of this misinformation and saying that a shooting of children is a hoax, is a scheme, some sort of scam with bad actors and all this other shit. And to what end? I don't know. I never listened to InfoWars, nor will I.
The end is that he has to pay $45.2 million in punitive damages to Neil Heslin and Scarlett Lewis, whose 6-year-old son was murdered in the shooting. And the father said, "I can't describe the last 9.5 years, the living hell that I and others had to endure because of the recklessness and negligence of Alex Jones." Because even after this happened, people were harassing the families.
Yeah.
because they like all these gun nuts were threatening them. Like it was a really terrible time. Like even the fact that you just lost a child dying is already like the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, but then you add on top of that like all of this like nonsense of like my son actually didn't die, and now the fans and the listeners of this goon who's peddling all this misinformation, they're now being harassed by all these people. I can only imagine what kind of nightmare that was.
Yeah, and I mean, fuck you, Alex Jones. He still has 2 other lawsuits that are pending. One in Texas, one in Connecticut, brought up by the families of the shooting. So we will see what happens, and I hope that he has to pay. I think they said his company is worth Jones and his company are worth up to $270 million, according to this economist Bernard Pettingill. And that Jones withdrew $62 million for himself in 2021 when default judgments were issued in lawsuits against him. Well, I wish that I could just randomly withdraw $62 million out of the bank. You know what we should do?
What?
Let's
tell all those people, instead of listening to InfoWars, listen to Black and Snerdy.
Well,
give us money.
I think that we need to put. Are you going to continue? There's usually
I love
a
money.
little. Come on.
No.
Yes. We need to create a fake pro conspiracy theory podcast geared towards white people.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll get them to buy a bunch of stupid merchandise.
Yeah, a bunch of supplements and everything. Yeah.
They will pay us. Because remember that black girl did that a few years ago. She made all these MAGA hats. And was like,
she fucking finessed the fuck out of them. Which is it. You know what? Like, if my fear with doing that is that it would be the monster becoming the mask. You know, it would be not the man becoming the mask. That's
kind of like in that Dear White People episode with what's her name from Westworld? The black girl, Valkyrie.
Oh, wait, she was in Dear White People, the movie or the
TV
show? She wasn't.
She had one episode. Do you want to bet?
Tessa Thompson?
Yes. Do you want to bet?
Tessa Thompson? Oh, she was in one episode. Oh,
do you want to bet?
No, I'm not betting shit with you anymore because all you had to say was one episode. I'm like, okay,
to win,
cool. I bet
and you don't.
I don't. You're right, I don't.
But yeah, she was in an episode, and
she played like a Candace Owens style person.
Exactly, and she was like, "I don't believe in any of this bullshit, but this pays the bills, so like, I'm gonna do it." And
yeah, but then like, because I would not want to do that because there's a very, very scary feeling that like, what if I end up believing my own bullshit at some point? Or B, what if I can only attract on a romantic level people who believe my bullshit?
Okay, this is what would happen. We'll wear masks so they can't see our faces, but they can see our skin. So they'll know it's a black person talking. They won't be able to see our face, so that we won't be able to have like any interaction with them.
Damn. Okay, that's smart. Will we modulate our voices?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. We're gonna do that.
This is the Blaga. Black Blaga.
Okay. We're moving on.
And you're listening to Conspiracies. Come on, come up with something.
Conspiracies Are Us?
Yes, Conspiracies Are Us.
I think that sounds great.
Conspirify.
I think Conspiracies Are Us is a great name. We're going to trademark it.
Are you actually looking it up to see
no,
if Conspiracies Are Us is?
I'm not looking that up.
Okay, because I see typing in your glasses.
I'm looking up something, but I'm not looking that up.
Okay, fine. Fair enough. All right.
Are you ready to move along?
Yes, I am ready to move along to get along.
Okay, so.
Oh, by the way, Alex Jones, all the bullshit that you peddle.
Miss me with that bullshit.
I haven't had a chance to use that drop in a long time. So,
have you? Well, you know, iCarly.
Yes, I do know iCarly. That awful shit.
Well,
I was trying to watch an episode today, and it just like this humor is if it's for kids, then kids are stupid.
Well, they are.
Yes.
Well, one of the lead actress, Jeanette McCurdy, who played the best friend.
She played Sam.
Yes. She wrote a book titled, it's a memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died. Mm-hmm. Now, if you don't know anything about Jeanette, she hasn't really been acting in a very long time.
Mm-hmm. I think the last time I saw her was on an episode of the Eric Andre show.
Oh, well, that's nice. But she said a few years ago that she was never interested in acting. Her mom was. I think her mom had a disease, and that's how she died. Oh. But she said that her mom would basically force her to, like, basically abuse her into being able to work, like basically starving her, making her like work out a lot, just a bunch of really terrible show mom stuff. Mm-hmm. But she also in this memoir, she's also talking about her time at Nickelodeon. She has experiences with a man that she worked for, that she refers to as the creator, who people online have been guessing is Dan Schneider.
Yes, Dan Schneider.
If you don't know, Dan Schneider, he did a lot of those TV shows that we watched on Nickelodeon.
He was the creator of All That, Drake and Josh, Kane and Kel, Victorious, the Zoe 101. Basically, he created all of those shows. Yeah, all of them were fucking created by this goon. I've been saying goon a lot.
You have.
And it's appropriate.
Well, in this case.
Yeah. He's a fucking goon.
Well, she says that...
Miss me with that goon shit.
She said that Nickelodeon is offering me $300,000 in hush money to not talk publicly about my experience on the show. I think this in the show, she's talking about Sam and Cat. Mm-hmm. My personal experience of the creator's abuse. This is a network with shows made for children. Shouldn't they have a moral compass? Shouldn't they at least try to report to some sort of ethical standard? I hope that she gets all the money and all the things.
Yeah.
Because Nickelodeon, as much as we loved Nickelodeon, it had so many shows that were integral to our childhood and teenhood and all that. Like, we have now heard from plenty of young stars that they were mistreated. And then just, if you look at, the rumor about Jamie Lynn Spears being impregnated by Dan Schneider. What's her name? Amanda Bynes having a whole, nervous breakdown and mental breakdown on the internet and still recovering from that. And she was one of the stars of Nickelodeon. So
The Amanda Show. Also created The Amanda Show.
And you think, like, all these young kids and these young girls who were involved in these shows, so many of them have had really rough goes at it once they reach adulthood. So sending them all the love so that they can heal themselves, because at the end of the day, they were children and they should have been treated with love and respect, and not all of this bullshit.
Yeah, agreed. So Dan Schneider and all of your foot fetishy child fucking grooming bullshit.
Miss me with that bullshit.
All right, so now we have discussed all of the terrible things. We can now move on to the fun topics. Number 1, Angelica Ross has made history as the first openly trans actress to star as Roxy Hart in the musical Chicago. She's the first openly trans actress to play this role, but she's also among the first known trans actresses to star in a leading role in a Broadway musical. She wrote online on I believe it's her Instagram. Thank you everyone who's been sharing and celebrating this news with me. I'm currently in rehearsals and coaching, working very hard every day to give you all my best. Can't wait to meet the whole cast and create magic with them. See you all on Broadway soon.
Shout out to the trans fam.
I need to get tickets to this. Chicago is one of my favorite plays or musicals. And I love Angelica Ross.
A little bit of, I don't know if it's trivia or anything like that, but never seen Chicago.
Never?
Not even the movie.
Ever?
Is all that jazz from Chicago? And all that jazz,
Yes.
I'm gonna kick my boots and I'm gonna lick my face. And all that jazz.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. There we
Okay,
go.
putting that on the list.
Yes, there's so many
Putting
things
it on the list.
There's so many things on the fucking
There are. But, I mean, we've got time. So, in other gay, queer, family news.
Could you hand me my phone over there? While I vamp for you. Yes. In other news that we can use, part of the fam, yes, I am.
If you watch Drag Race, you will know who this is.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
RuPaul's Drag Race. The indisputable, undeniable, gorgeous Shea Couleé is going to be in the Marvel Universe. She is going to be in Ironheart. I don't know.
The character of Ironheart is the little black genius girl who ultimately takes over the role of like Iron Man-esque protector.
Riri Williams, right? Riri Williams.
The character, or
It's the character. That's the character's name. That's the I'm telling
have
you. That's the
never.
character's name.
Oh, cool! That's awesome. I've never read any of the comics because it's relatively new. Like I want to say, like within the last 5 years. But I hear great things, so you know.
Well, super excited to watch Riri, played by Dominique Thorne, and I'm extremely excited to see.
Do you know if this is going to be a
Shea
movie
Couleé.
or a series?
So it says she's going to be a series regular on the Ironheart show. So who knows where we're going to see Shea Couleé come up next? But very excited. The show is slated for release in fall 2023. So we'll just have to wait another year to see her, but it's very exciting.
Yes.
Okay, now this is the story I've been waiting to talk to you about.
Okay.
I'm going to show you a picture.
Okay.
And then I didn't send this to you earlier.
No.
Because I wanted to get your full, fresh response.
Okay. That's
So as you're opening this, I'm going to let you know, FAMU had a graduation on the 30th.
Shout out to HBCU FAMU.
We love y'all.
Y'all made a very infamous video once when I was in college.
And I was okay. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that because that actually there's some information about that story.
That it wasn't actually.
It wasn't. Yeah,
they weren't actually FAMU students.
But they did do it at the dorm.
They did do it at the dorm, but it wasn't FAMU students.
Yeah.
I knew that. I could tell. You can always tell.
So FAMU had the graduation. One of the
I can always tell. I should say.
One of the graduates, Tarika Starr, decided to have a graduation photo on campus, and she's having it right at like their main where it says Florida A&M University.
Okay.
Have you picked up the picture?
Let me pick it up now.
So she did this, and it just caused quite a stir. And I'm very interested in what your.
I have to add my birthday. Hold on.
Where are you looking at? Why couldn't you just click the thing?
It's Instagram, right?
Yeah, it didn't just click it and let you go straight to it.
No, it didn't. It said I had to add.
Look
my
at it
birthday.
on your phone.
Oh, hold on, give me a second.
This is what you were supposed to be doing while I was leading up to it.
Well, I didn't know it would ask me to do this. So saw the fuck Okay, well. For the listeners, it is a very tasteful. And when I say tasteful, I don't mean that it's elegant. I mean tasteful as in kind of just want to take a bite out of it.
Okay, continue on. Continue.
It is of a young lady with really long hair, snakes for hair. And she is standing in front of the Florida A&M University, I guess, statue of a gator or a duck. I can't tell.
It's a rattler.
It's a snake. And she's wearing heels. Louis Vuittons, right? And she is wearing this hair, and that is about it.
Yes.
That is all she is wearing. There's just a full moon out on display, just a chocolate moon. Is that like a waxing gibbous?
So she posted that
I don't want
up.
to be gross, because this is a young lady, I assume, right?
She's 24, so she's a grown woman. She posted that up.
Yes, she's definitely a grown woman. Yes.
And the caption she posted with the picture is, "Anybody who knows me knows that I've been dressing provocative my whole life. There's a lot of assumptions that have come with me accepting my body. A lot of people question my capabilities and intelligence solely based on how I choose to dress. As I'm standing here with my master's degree at the tender age of 24, I am living proof that clothes do not define you. I encourage everybody to embrace their bodies and step outside social norms. With love, Tarika Williams, Masters of Education."
One of my friends currently at Hedonism 2, and very much very much sharing the same sentiment as this young lady. And I'm all encouraging of it, you know, like if taking the obvious sort of male sexuality gaze out of this conversation, because, you know, that's surface level bullshit. I think that this is mad brave for this young lady to damn, I wish I had that drop, that Eric Andre drop right now, but I don't, and it's okay. I say that this is, I encourage it. I support it. I'm all on board.
So you would be okay with,
like I said, I've taken the nasty man part of me out of this.
Would you find there to be anything wrong if somebody was at the hilltop with, I don't know, what they would have on their head, bison? I don't know what that could be.
Fucking water buffalo helmets, like this is the Flintstones,
and naked, like just posing in front of the lady on the hill.
I would say, if anything, I would say, for all of the Howard University students who are currently in school, who are gearing up for your senior year, if you plan on doing this, in fact, I say have the whole class do it. Like, each night have one of y'all, like, you know, like take turns doing lookout, have like 4 or 5 of y'all stand in front of like the sign that says Howard, and take a picture like this, and just drop me a line with the proofs. Let me know when this is happening. You'll hear licorish@gmail.com. Y'all could send that to me personally, and I will give my stamp of approval. I will like support it. I'll put it up somewhere. You know what? We'll share it on our Black and Snerdy page, and we'll be in full support as Howard alumni. And like I said, you could totally trust and believe me, because I've taken the nasty man aspect of this whole argument out of the equation. So this is just a Howard alum supporter of the human form, and an appreciator of Black beauty. I said beauty.
You did.
Yes. So.
Well, FAMU put out a immediate release, a press release that said, Florida A&M University is aware of the post circulating on social media of a student photographed in front of the Rattler statue on campus. Vice President of Student Affairs, William Hudson Jr., PhD, said the university is aware of the picture taken and is currently investigating the incident. There's talk of whether or not, you know, she would be having her degree taken away.
I didn't know they could take away the degree.
You could take a degree. Yeah, you can always get your degree taken away if you violate whatever there are still terms and conditions for your degrees. I mean,
FAMU said, "Damn you."
Okay. So a lot of the students from FAMU alumni were had a lot of thoughts, good and bad and indifferent. my opinion is she should definitely not have her degree taken away. She worked for that degree.
She worked very hard. A master's?
Like, that's a lot.
Can I bring the nasty man back in here real quick?
Yes.
Master. And more like she got a master's, right?
Yes.
It's a master's of fun.
Okay. So my opinion is, I think she is a beautiful young woman.
Shit! I should have said Master of Bun.
That's the name of the episode.
Yes, it is! Master of
Buns. So I think she's a beautiful girl. I think that it is a tasteful photo. I think that the thing that I hate, the only thing that I hate about the photo is the snake wig, because I know she was getting like, that's not why. I don't like the wig because it looks stupid, and she could have, there's so many other ways to like have snake hair and do like a good, beautiful Medusa look. This ain't it.
Yeah, those are some thick ass snakes.
And yeah, it didn't look good. Now my other issue with this situation is, I love the body. I do not think that you need to have clothes on majority of the time. It's hot. Like, I rarely want to wear clothes. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Be as nude and free as you want to be. However, I don't see the common sense in this.
Of doing it in Florida. You're absolutely right. It doesn't make any sense to do that in Florida.
I don't think that
so humid.
It doesn't make sense to do this at an HBCU, because we already know that HBCUs are just breeding grounds for respectability politics.
Where else is she gonna do it? This is where she graduated. This is her alma mater.
Can you wait for me to finish? Are you done interjecting?
No, but you can continue.
Her doing this photo shoot, as beautiful it is, the possibility that she could now be facing charges, or I mean, they could sue her if she wanted to. I don't know what their student handbook says, but I remember at Howard, our student handbook did have things about like decency or whatever, and you could have gotten like suspended or expelled or whatever if you did certain things on campus. So I'm sure if we had it, they had that as well.
If they wanted to, if they wanted you to be decent on campus, they would have locked a lot of the buildings at night. I'm just saying.
Okay. No one's talking about your
especially the
romps
building.
Do you want to name all the classes that you had sex in?
No, we don't have time.
But
we're almost an hour into this fucking episode.
That she did not make the most calculated decision in doing this. An hour in. Because it just she should have consulted a legal team to make sure that she couldn't get sued or get her degree taken away, because if any school could say, like, this is not, you're using our what is the word, logo, or our whatever that is, what the signage, like all that's there. So even if you were at like Columbia or NYU or something, which is like a pretty white place,
yes,
they could be annoyed. But at HBCU, where they're always they're constantly having to justify their validity and like justify who they are to PWIs, I think that she just should have made a different decision. If she would have had on a bathing suit, like she could have wore a skimpy bathing suit, she could have painted herself as a rattler in the school colors, and I think that could have been a little bit more of a case. But her ass is just out in this photo shoot, and it's honestly not the most creative nudity to be had. I mean, it's not a very creative shoot except for the weird hair.
Like we've kind of reached a point where like there's but so many nudity shoots that you can do, you know? Like that's why can I be real a second for just a millisecond?
Yes.
I no longer am impressed with any of those pregnancy announcement photos where it's the Black King has his naked hand underneath the black woman whose titties are out and she's pregnant and she looks like a beautiful guy. You know why? Because literally all of my fucking friends have done that and all the celebrities have done that. That's what I'm saying is that like as far as creativity is concerned, like we've reached a limit. We've seen everything under the sun. The last time somebody was creatively nude was when Kim Kardashian had a fucking bottle spurting out fucking champagne cum and broke the internet, which itself was a fucking copy of an actual black
Grace Jones.
fucking, what'd you say?
It was a copy of Grace Jones.
Grace Jones, yeah, that's what I was saying. So like everything is not that original anymore. It's just a matter of how I don't know, like beautiful the butt is or something. I don't know, like it's just like airbrushed it and stuff. Like
I feel
if
like
it's done,
she could have
touched up
done a
well.
more interesting. Like she has a lot of other pictures on her page. She's
She
also
does,
a
hold
rapper.
Wow,
And I feel like
she is.
yeah. Don't listen to them.
I'm not
I'm sure she's a lovely woman.
Hold on, I'm trying to go to her page and see what these other photos are.
She's not naked in these other photos. She just has dresses and pasties and bikinis.
Yeah.
I just feel like she was. I understand what she was trying to do, but I also feel like she just wanted to get her followers up because she's a rapper and wants to be like the next Meg Thee Stallion. And this is nothing about like this is not body shaming her. I think that she's beautiful. I think she could definitely be a model, and she should be naked if she wants to be naked. That has nothing, like she said, has nothing to do with her capabilities. But she has to be able to acknowledge that this was not necessarily the best idea. And she did a Facebook or not. Well, she did an Instagram live when people were like with the backlash or whatever, and she was basically like, "Oh, y'all are mad because I'm prettier than you and you don't have my body. And that's why you don't think I should be doing this." When in reality, it could be Beyonce. And I'd be like, why are you at your campus naked? Not because you shouldn't be naked, but you're going to get in trouble and could possibly get something taken away.
So you kind of fall in line with the respectability politics then.
No, I don't think it's not about. She should be able to be on her campus butt-ass naked if she wants.
But you are saying that like she should have thought about the ramifications and the repercussions and everything, right?
you have a student handbook that says if you do X, Y, and Z, we could take your whole shit away. And I don't think she should have anything taken away from her. But the fact that she possibly could over a graduation suit or a graduation photo shoot, to me is like a stupid reason to get in trouble.
I will agree. It is a stupid reason to get in trouble. Having said that, though, I kind of feel like one, she shouldn't get in trouble, and two, like I'm all supportive of her for doing this. Like I feel like more people should do this.
Have naked photo shoots on their campus.
Yeah, be creative. Like,
but it wasn't creative. She's just standing there naked with snakes coming out of her head.
That's more creative than just like what, like standing there with clothes on with snakes on.
I wish she would have put some body paint on. That would have been creative.
All right, I'll give you that.
That would have been creative. To me personally, naked and body paint would have been creative.
I'll give you
this.
that.
She just standing there naked with her snakes coming out of her head.
I will give that to you. Maybe body paint would have.
It would have still been extremely provocative.
Oh my god, if she had gold, like
okay,
or whatever her school colors are. There we go. Whatever her school colors are. Like what are the FAMU colors?
Red, orange, and green.
Orange and green. Yeah, she had painted her body like orange and green, like the one. I'm trying to do this.
One cheek orange and one cheek green. Is that what you were gonna say?
I'm saying one side of her body orange and one side of her body green.
That would have been more creative.
That would have included the cheeks as well, but like I'm trying to be as like down the middle, objective, and not gross as possible. Okay?
I think that she should not get anything taken away from her.
Agreed.
I think that all the people who are like slut shaming her and all that need to calm down.
Knock it off.
Because first of all, we know what y'all were doing on campus and around campus, and y'all probably fucked on that thing or something. Like it's not the point. Is not her being naked. Yeah. It's her just making a poor decision. Because she thought this was going to get her like, and it has. I mean, she has 29,000
so many fucking likes
followers, and she has a bunch of likes. I don't know how many followers she had previously, but her other posts, Like when she's wearing these little scantily clad things, she's getting 24 likes or 24 comments, 34 comments. On this one, she has close to 10,000 comments. So clearly her methodology worked. I just don't want a black woman getting something taken away from her because somebody else is policing what she's doing.
Read you loud and clear. Tarika Starr, the Black and Snerdy podcast endorses this photo. Please send us an email. Reach out to us. We will give you some airtime. I will set up a third mic just for you to come in as a guest. And, I've been saying for a long time that we should have guests.
All your idea. I know. It's very benevolent of you.
I know, right? Look at me using my platform for the greater good. For the greater good.
Oh, my gosh. All right. So moving on to our last topic and to a woman who really broke the internet. Beyoncé. Now, I believe this was on July 29th.
Yes,
last week.
Last Thursday.
Last Thursday
at midnight.
Yes.
So then
last Friday
last
at midnight, Beyoncé Knowles Carter dropped Renaissance, her newest album, the first of 3 installments, and I am just besides myself.
Yeah, you had me up at midnight listening to this, and it was a good album, I will say. I listened to it we listened to it all the way through. It's been on repeat, both in my life, in my world, and in my Spotify. In fact, I guarantee you it'll probably be on my 100 top curated playlist thing, that year-end wrap-up thing that they usually do. Do you have any, before we get into that, do you have any, what were your top 3 songs?
I was just about to ask you that. Okay, but do I have to do top 3?
Yes! Oh my God!
Only 3?
I gave you a number.
You go first.
No, I asked you the question.
Oh my God, 3?
Yes.
There's 16 songs on this album, and you want me to only choose 3?
Yeah, that's how top works. That's how top works.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, I can 100% say I'm that girl, because I am.
I thought you were going to say church girl, because you are that girl. You're more church girl than that girl.
Why are you being mean to me?
I'm not being mean. I'm joking. Come on. This is a fucking comedic podcast, okay? Jeez. I got to get these jokes in there somehow. We spent the first 30 minutes talking about awful shit. I got to get these jokes out somehow. Odie!
Okay, so I'm that girl. But, oh, man. Okay. Okay.
Virgo's Groove.
That one's really, I told you that you giving me 3 is really difficult. You didn't even give me 5.
I gave you 2. Break My Soul, Church Girl, and you seem like you like to move.
Are those what you're saying that are my top 3?
Those are your top 3.
Break My Soul, Church Girl, and Move are all amazing songs.
Yes.
But are not top 3. Okay.
I like
okay.
Heated, America Has a Problem, and Energy.
Okay. Alien Superstar, I'm That Girl, and then it's like, okay, it's just so difficult. It's just really difficult because the whole album has been so fucking good.
What have you been playing the most?
All of them.
Oh my God.
I have not picked one song to play more than the others. I've been playing all of them. Oh, God. Is it Honey Pure? Is it some Renaissance? Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm That Girl, Alien Superstar, and Plastic Off the Sofa.
There we go. Thank you.
But I want to say...
No honorable mentions.
Why can't I have an honorable
Because
mention?
that's fucking... Like the rest of the album... Let's just say the rest of the album is honorable mention. Honorable mention! everything else.
But every other song has such good stuff. Like Move has Grace Jones and Thames, and then Cozy has T.S. Madison. It's just all of it has been just. You won't break my soul because Beyonce has literally enlightened it and brought it to the stars, came back into me, and has imbued me with everything I need to make my world complete.
Good for you.
And I cannot wait for these next 2 albums. And I hope that she releases the ticket sales on August 20th so that I can buy tickets.
Well, you gotta stay ready. Stay ready.
Yeah, well,
because when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
That is very true.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to drop money on the album, on the whatever it is. I want it.
Okay.
That's what all I know is. I don't care. Beyonce, please wait until August 20th.
Good on you, mate.
To drop anything. So because she's Beyonce and she debuted at number 1, of course she did. There has just been a bit of some controversy, some kerfuffles, specifically with Khalisé.
Yes.
So, if you didn't know, Khalisé had a song that was sampled for the song Milkshake was sampled for the song Energy. It was not her singing voice. It was like the instrumental.
Yes.
So Khalisé went, but when the track list was listed, and you could see everyone who was featured. Khalisé got on Instagram, posted up a video, and said that basically she was basically saying Beyonce stole from her because she was working with Pharrell and I guess Pharrell, whatever, their production company, and that she has been fighting with Pharrell for years now over her first contract and the royalties from her songs, et cetera, because she says that he did not credit her properly and she has not ever gotten the money she deserves, which I 100% believe. She's been talking about this for years. And she was upset that Beyonce didn't call her and say to her that she was using her song on the Energy, which I will say is not industry practice to tell someone you're sampling a song.
Okay. So there is a thing in the industry where you have to get clearance.
Yeah, well, she did that.
But clearance on musical samples.
Yes.
As far as like words and like speeches or something like that, I'm not sure if there's anything in place for that.
Well, I was researching this. I was reading all the conversations, all the people in the industry who are actual working in the industry, and many people were saying that this is not like calling everyone you sampled on an album would be very difficult to do because you could be Beyonce. I don't know if you've ever like seen how she like sometimes when she'll show her process for these songs. Sometimes she's layering 3, 4, 5 songs together to get a certain sound or whatever. So if you could imagine, if there was each of those songs was by a different producer or a different person, she would have to contact all those people. Yes. Now I don't think Khalisé was wrong in saying that she feels harmed by Pharrell, that he has stolen from her and is keeping credits from her, et cetera, that she had a terrible contract when they started out, because I think that is unfortunately a lot of black women in the music industry, a lot of black people in the music industry, a lot of just the music industry is with shady producers, terrible contracts, and people getting roped in to really horrible situations. Right. So that part I did not take issue with. Only thing I took issue with is her saying that Beyonce stole from her, because if you're she didn't steal anything. She went to the people who wrote that. She went to the proper channels. Her lawyers went to the people that the songs who own the song, got the credit and put it on the song. Do I think she needed to call her for an instrumental that she used? No. Personally, no.
No.
Khalees said
Beyonce doesn't need to call anybody. Let's be real. Like Beyonce doesn't make calls. Okay, Beyonce gets calls, and then she chooses whether or not she will grace her phone by pushing that little green button that says answer. Okay, all right. Like everybody in Beyonce's world is basically the equivalent of a fucking tax collector. Okay, or somebody just calling to say that we student loan forgiveness debt. You know, like,
I think she would have called if there was like more of a song, like if she was doing a collaboration with her. But Khalees said that because they have a relationship, that she should have called her. Now, my only question for that is, if y'all have a relationship, why didn't you call Beyonce?
Yeah, and why does it matter? Why did you put this on the radio? Why or in the media to say like, oh, I'm upset? If you have Beyonce's number, how dare you tell us that? Okay, like. Because before this, I would have never thought that Khalees has Beyonce's number or has a like working relationship or anything like that. If, at best, I would have thought that maybe Khalees had walked past Beyonce's booth at the Roots picnic or something and, you know, waved, and then Beyonce was just like, gave her the nod.
I mean, like, to me, it's not as far-fetched because I think Khalees, I love Khalees. She's the first black girl that I ever saw with like bright hair, being weird, on TV, making music, and I was just enthralled, in love, and I never felt like she got her just desserts. So I feel like her being a very talented singer, songwriter, she could have she was married, she was married to Nas, and then she would have come in contact with Beyonce because Nas and Jay-Z were working together. So I think it's very plausible that over the years they have been able to have connection with each other, maybe work together on something, who knows, and like enough of a connection where you could have the phone number. But if you do have her phone number, why didn't you use it? And it's not because this is a Beyonce thing. I think in general, I hate when people come to social media to talk about personal problems. Yeah. Like if she had talked to her and said, Beyonce, I had an issue with this and and Beyonce was like, fuck you, bitch, I'm putting my album out anyway, and she came to social media, then I think I would have appreciated that more. But she was mad that she only found out that her song was used when the track list came out. And if my question that I've been looking online since the album came out, when you are credited on an album, you get paid for those credits.
I'm pretty sure that's the case.
So I'm, again, confused how someone can be paying you for your work and also stealing from you. Because if your issue is that Pharrell...
that you weren't credited correctly, it could be an instance of, like, not getting the correct credit. Because I know, like, there's different percentages for different styles of credit. You know, if you're credited as a writer, if you're credited as, like... producer, if you're credited as like EP or something like that, if you're just like there are different, I believe there are different breakdowns for the type of credit that you're receiving, you know?
Well, it doesn't really matter what type of credit she received on the album because now it's gone. Beyonce removed it. The sample that she used has been gone, removed. She has updated the credits, so Khalees is getting nothing, which I feel like is very unfortunate. When Break My Soul came out, Robin S., who Beyonce's sampled, she posted up like, wow, this is amazing, thanks Beyonce, and like she's like, this is like really cool, etc. And I thought there was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And people were at that time, like, she should have called her. And even then I was like, well, why should she have called her? Is it a sample or not? I don't know. I feel like people, they always talk about Beyonce being like deified. But I feel like her fans are like crazy, which I mean, honestly, the Bayhive is ridiculous. But are you not putting too much, I don't know, not stock, but like putting so much on Beyonce because you are saying like, oh, she's just this woman empowerment artist and she should know better. But like, why is it is it that she has to call everyone that she might have sampled on an album and not any of these other artists who are bigger, have longer careers? Well, I mean, they're not bigger, but they have long-standing careers. I don't hear these sort of little petty conversations about what they do. It is literally only Beyonce. What did she say on the album? Monday, you're all up on me, and Tuesday, kiss my ass, or something like that. Mm-hmm. Whatever that lyric was, the flip-floppity ass bitches. That's how I feel about the media and just people in general when it comes to Beyonce. Like, I don't think that if when things have come out about Beyonce possibly stealing from people or using other people's work, I'm never gonna be like, no, that's Beyonce. She could never steal, because anybody could do anything.
Anybody can do anything.
Like, if it comes out where it's like, oh, there's a video of me doing this in 2011, and you saw it, you used my music, and you never said any that you were inspired by me, I'm never gonna be like, oh, it's Beyonce, she should just care. No, if you're taking someone's work out of and not crediting them, it is perfectly all right for people to be upset and ask you to do better. In this situation, I feel like it was a bit of a stretch. And I love Khalisé. I don't wish her ill will. I hope she has more and more success. But I will say also, in a bit of her defense, she's had a very difficult year. Her husband just died. I believe it's not even been a year yet. I think he had brain cancer. It was some sort of like really serious cancer. So maybe she's just feeling in general sensitive. And then of course, she's always been sensitive about her music that she made with Pharrell. Because I believe they were dating at the time when they made the album, and then they broke up, and it just got really shady. So I could understand her projecting, because most of the conversation when she was talking about these people are stupid and I can't believe this, she was like directing that towards Pharrell. But I feel like Beyonce's getting caught in the crossfire of a beef between her and somebody else. And then there was another beef that happened.
Hold on, before you do that, I just want to say this real quick to Khalisé. Now that the sample has been removed from the album,
it's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
There.
That was the shadiest, pettiest thing that I think I have seen you do in quite some time.
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
You really have outdone yourself.
Yeah.
You get
Really
nothing. Nothing.
You were saying?
Are you done?
Oh, you were about to say something.
So
Nothing.
I knew you were gonna do that.
All right, no, in all seriousness.
You lose.
You're just such a ridiculous.
All right, seriously.
You really
Good day, sir.
are
Yeah. All right, I'm done. I'm moving off of this thing.
ridiculous. Thank you. So,
Jesus.
in the song "Heated," she Beyonce, one of the lyrics is that she's gonna spaz out, right? And so I don't know if you remember, we talked about this with Lizzo a few months back.
Yes.
Where Lizzo had a song that she said spaz in, and some people got upset, and then Lizzo ultimately removed the word. Now, when this song came out, there were several white disabled British people came to Twitter again, because I think it was actually the same white British woman who called out Lizzo, called out Beyonce. And it then just turned into this flurry of, why would you write this and da-da-da-da. And just a lot of, then of course, disabled Twitter across America, and people were commenting and arguing about this and telling Beyonce she needs to change it. Now, for those who don't know, the term spaz is short for spastic, which usually is talking about people with physical disabilities who are unable to control their movements. It was usually targeted toward, the term spastic was usually used for people with cerebral palsy, but of course with those sort of slangs, it was all people with those sort of movement issues. And then when you're talking with Black people, if you're talking in AAVE, when you're saying that someone's spazzing, it's this person's very angry and they're about to spaz out, get angry, maybe fight. It is still, I would argue that to say someone's going to spaz out would be that they're going to get crazy or be crazy. So still ableist, just not ableist in the same way. So there was then lots of arguments on Twitter between regular disabled folks and Black people who were not disabled, and then Black disabled folks arguing with Black people that weren't disabled, and about it, and then I feel like people in the middle. Now, growing up for me personally, I saw spaz used in the two different ways. I saw kids being called spastic or being called spazzes, and it wasn't just people with any sort of physical movements. If people were behaving stupid, or anyone who's getting bullied, they would call them a spaz. It was not a term at all of endearment. And then, of course, with Black people, it would just be I'm about to spaz out because this person is bothering me or annoying me or whatever the case may be. So there is nuance in the conversation, but I think that what Black disabled Twitter was saying, which is very true, is that just because a word is AAVE or a slang does not make it any less harmful to people, and there might be plenty of Black people who literally have never seen or heard the term spaz used against somebody in that way, but that doesn't mean that it's not happening, and that just because it's a part of our vernacular that we should just be cool with it, because there's plenty of words in white people's vernacular that we are not cool with. And there's other terms in our general American vernacular that people are rightfully not cool with, because as our worlds are opening up and colliding and getting more global, we have to understand that words that we use here, or words that anybody uses in their vernacular in whatever country, place they are, could mean totally different things. And I think that we have to update our language to meet those issues and make bridges, and not just be oh, you're disabled and you don't like the word spaz. Well, fuck you, because it's an AAVE and I'm gonna use it. Every word that's in AAVE can't be this what is the word?
Guarded?
Yes, this is
protected,
canon, and we need it. I can't remember the last time I heard a Black person say the word spaz. I cannot remember one. So now you need to have this special word that for a lot of people could be hurtful. No. But then on the other side, I find it very interesting that these white British people
are only going after Black people.
Yeah. But also, don't y'all call cigarettes fags? You do it all the time. I still hear on modern day. I hear it in movies, in TV, in general conversation. So you seem to have really good awareness for words.
Not to mention that Eminem to this day still says retarded in his songs.
I mean, there's.
Well, okay. I might have to back up a little bit. I'm he has used it in the past. I'm not going to go so far as to say he's still using it. The only reason why I have to put a bit of an asterisk on that is because I don't really listen to Eminem like that. Like well, his present work, like
who does? I think that everyone like not being all like this is a woke culture and we're getting canceled. Like no, we're not canceling Beyonce or Lizzo for using the term spaz. Mm-hmm. We are. I think it's saying, hey, this word is offensive, not just to white British people, but black disabled people, regardless of where they are in the world, have had this word lobbed at them. So it doesn't matter if the word is just offensive to white. If you think the word is just offensive to white people, it's just not true. While also saying, I'm not about to cancel Beyonce or Lizzo for saying a word that for them, they didn't realize that it had negative connotation in that way. Like, two things could be true at the same time. You tell someone something, they both changed it. Lizzo's album was out for months before they even heard that term came up, and she changed it. Beyonce changed that song in like a day. Yeah. And I only thing I want to say is though, I feel like somebody on Beyonce's team should have caught that.
I don't think anybody on Beyonce's team is looking for that, you know.
But the thing with Lizzo was a big deal I feel like there was. It was a big deal in music for like that week. It wasn't a.
I feel it was yes, it was a big deal, but it was also not that big of a deal in that like she was just like, okay, I'm just gonna change it. You know?
But I think when something
happens,
I
think that's just what happened with Beyonce. Like they made us think about it, and I guess. Here's my thing. I think people made such a big deal about it because there was the expectation of like, ooh, like should she be able? It's art. Should she have to like change it and stuff? When the reality is, she heard that people were upset and was just like, all right, I'll change it. It's not that big of a deal. Like it's literally the smallest fucking thing to go back in the booth. What line was that? So instead of spaz, just say I'm gonna
kirk out.
Yeah, I'm gonna kirk out. Yeah, something like that.
But I think that at a certain point, that can no longer be a excuse for having that type of language in that sense. Because how many times have we seen white people in blackface? Even up until recently, right? Yeah. We see white people in black and brown and yellow face.
But those have been removed from all the TV shows.
I'm not talking about I'm talking about people not in TV shows in modern times in like since from 2012 to now in the last 10 years there have been several people with blackface walking outside. And we say constantly, how many times do we have to tell you this is wrong? So I feel like if there's she is not necessarily Beyonce's contemporary in the sense that they are the same amount of fame, but she is a very big pop star. Yeah. And Beyonce is a pop star. So I think when something's happening in your industry and you know that this is a big deal, that there have to be people there. Beyonce, I don't feel like is on social media like that. But her team, the people that she hires, somebody has to be on social media. Nobody saw the thing about Lizzo. And who knows? Maybe they saw it, told her, and she was like, no big deal. They're not going to think it like that. And then they move on. Who knows?
Or maybe she saw it and was like, I'll make two versions of the song. One with it, one without it. If somebody catches it, boom, we got the other song. I feel like maybe that's what happened.
That's how she got to get
That's how it happened so fucking quickly. Because it was just like, all right, I'm like, this is the original version. I'll make a second version. I have to make a clean version anyway for the fucking radio or whatever like that. So here we go. This is what it's gonna be. Because at the end of the day, like, it's just like I'm not trying to downplay people who, find the term offensive. I'm definitely not doing that. What I am saying, though, is that if you are going to hold people accountable for this, you should also, like, point out the fact that, like, they was like, hey, didn't know that? I changed it, you know? Like, with the same fervor that you had when you fucking spotted it out and called out that shit, you know? Like, keep the same energy. Keep the same energy for calling it out as it is for recognizing the change, you know?
I think that...
That's my only point.
We definitely have to be, like, as a disabled person, And even though it might be we have a mental disability and not a physical disability, which I think there is definitely there is a difference in how the world treats you like that. Like if there was a word, like even like say for instance crazy, right? That is an ableist term.
Yes, it is.
People say, oh, that's crazy or you're crazy all the time. But for people like who have mental illnesses like us, someone could lob that at us as an insult and being like, oh, well, I'm just going to negate what you're saying because you're crazy. And I think that it's like everyone can choose if something is harming them. But I think you have to be able to choose that. The other people who are not experiencing what you're experiencing cannot tell you, oh, well, I've been saying this for so long, I should just be able to say it because it's a part of my vernacular. There are plenty of words that used to be part of my vernacular that are not now. Yeah. Like, in middle school, I used to say, oh, that's gay. All the time. We were always saying that.
We grew up saying that's gay. We grew up saying that that's retarded. We grew up saying the F word. Like, those things have been outmoded as we've gone along. It hasn't been that big of a deal to, like, exercise certain words out of our vocabulary. I would say that it's great that the language continues to grow and evolve. It's a growing and changing language, right? I think that's fantastic. People should be given the space and the time to, hear this information. Hey, this word is not, this word hurts a specific community, and been given the space to make the choices to be like, you know what, you're absolutely right. I'm gonna not use that word. It's not that big of a deal, because at the end of the day, language grows and it changes, and it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's so much easier to do what Beyonce and Lizzo did and just be like, I'll remove that out, than it is to sit here and fight and argue and campaign over what word people should be able to say. Like I said, I used to grow up saying all those words, and as an adult now, I just don't use them. Not even necessarily because they're they hurt certain groups of people and stuff. It's just that, yeah, I heard that that's not how, those words are not how I accurately want to depict a certain thing that I'm trying to say. So I learned to use different words, Well,
the last bit of white shenanigans on this album, or about this album, is a fellow songwriter, Diane Warren, it's Grammy Award-winning songwriter, tweeted out, how can there be 24 writers on a song?
Boo, we're not doing that. Because music today, there are tons of contributions and contributors. Okay, I know that back in the day when you were doing trying to think of
bebop.
Well, I was trying to specifically think of a Diane Warren song. Did she do Goldfinger, the James Bond song?
I mean, she's 65. She could have.
Goldfinger.
Okay.
No, I know that back in the day there was only like one or two. Everybody was responsible for their own music and stuff, right? Music has come a long way. Music is a collaborative effort. Just like there's going to be tons of different people who created one beat, there's going to be tons of different people who created. Some people are writing songs wholesale. Some people are creating the verse. Some people are creating the bridge. Some people are creating like a different verse and the chorus and stuff. That's just the way that music is now, a collaborative effort. It's not even the hottest take in the world. This take has been going on since fucking Meek Mill was like, ooh, Drake has ghostwriters. Like, this take has been going on for, like, as long... Fucking Nicki Minaj a few years ago, they were like, how is it that Nicki Minaj has, like, all these fucking people that are writers thing, but Kendrick Lamar only has himself or some shit like that. It's fine. Like, oh, what about Kanye West? He has all these writers listed. It's a collaborative effort, music and art. It's fine. It's so far removed from the fucking skili-ba-pa-doo-pa-dee-da-boo from the 60s and 70s and shit. That's just how music has evolved and changed. It doesn't make it less than or better than, or it just makes it different. It just means that the culture in and of itself has changed. So yes, there's 25 different, there's a football field worth of people who have contributed to this fucking album. Guess what? That just means that more people are eating off of Beyonce. More people are getting paid so that all the money in the residuals aren't just being hoarded by Beyonce, the fucking dragon. You know, like it's being distributed, and people are working. So allow people to fucking work, all right? And stop complaining on Twitter like with your fucking. Ooh, I was about to go really hard. Really hard, okay? Just go fucking watch some Mentalist and eat some eucalyptus, okay? Like, just fucking chill and take a fucking Ricola, all right? And relax. That's all I'm saying. And I keep getting her name wrong.
Diane Warren.
Okay, it's because I was about to call her Diane Warwick. It's not her.
But I will tell you these are the top.
Oh my God.
She's had these songs are very popular. Spanish Guitar from Toni Braxton. She did Till It Happens to You for Lady Gaga. A Smile Like Yours.
Who?
By Natalie Cole.
Who? Diane?
Diane did these.
Diane, you writing for other people.
She has hella songs. Like, she's not a new writer.
So then why are you
She's not
complaining
new.
that there's
and she's worked with Beyonce. She wrote one of my favorite Beyonce songs.
So which one is it?
Hold on. Because I want to make sure, because I think it was I Care and
well, why don't you just go down
I'm doing
do Control F and
if you
type in Beyonce.
Stop micro-managing me.
I'm trying to help you.
You're not.
Get to the point.
You're micro-managing. Right. It was I Was Here, which is one of my favorite Beyonce songs, and the one that I've told you many times I'm going to play at my funeral.
Yes.
While the montage is going by.
Yes.
Anyway, The Dream responded to the tweet and said, "You mean how does our black culture have so many writers? Well, it started because we couldn't afford certain things starting out. So we started sampling and it became an art form. A major part of black culture, hip-hop in America. Had that era not happened, who knows? You good?" Then, of course, she backpedaled, like, "I didn't mean any disrespect, blah, 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 blah." And it's just like, ma'am, I don't know why you even tweeted that. You've worked with Beyonce. Are you mad she didn't put you on this album?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
That sounds exactly the level of saltiness that she has. That's exactly what it sounds like to me. So,
like, I don't understand why people say these things. And did you just want clout? Like, you have a blue check and you have lots of Grammys, or at least Grammy nominated and all that. Like, you have.
She's eating good.
You're eating. I don't understand. Why do you care if there's 24? And then she didn't just ask, how can there be 24 writers on a song? She also did that emoji where the eyes are rolling.
Oh, man.
So it's like you were being shady.
Enough.
So don't tell me
Enough.
you didn't have any desire to be disrespectful, because you definitely did. And you did. I love I Was Here because it was a great song. You did a great job on that. But take your other songs and stick them up your ass.
Okay.
And at that note, that's it. That's all I got. We're done with the pop section.
Yes, we're done with the pop section, and we'll be right back with more of the Black and Snerdy podcast.
Bye.
You're listening to the Black and Snerdy podcast.
Return to the Black and Snerdy podcast.
Sorry,
I'm sorry.
I'm not starting over.
I know you're not.
God damn it. So,
do it.
Damn it. Well, now. Hold on. Damn it.
Sorry.
It's okay. You threw me off. I had a song that I was going to do.
Do your song.
No, because hold on. Here we go. All right, here we go. I'll do this song instead, and I'll save the other song for the next time. Baby, it was uncool to love me, then leave me standing here now without a goodbye. And maybe I am the fool you call me, 'cause I'll be here standing waiting to hear you say to me, I'm ready.
You know I'm ready
To love you.
to love
Forever.
forever.
Hey, love now. Come love me forevermore. I'm
You
ready
know I'm ready
to love
to
you
love
forever.
forever.
Hey, love now. Come love me forevermore. Oh. Okay, all right. That was
That was a really good one.
Tevin Campbell. I'm ready.
You know I'm ready.
And we are ready to get back to the mayhem, the mirth, and the meh.
Okay,
That
question.
is the Black and Snerdy podcast. Yes. What's
This
the
is
question?
a do-it-yourself therapy question.
Sure.
Are you a good date?
I'm a... Oof.
Are you going to scream into the mic?
No, I'm not going to scream into the mic. I think I am a great date. I think I'm an entertaining date, okay? I bring fun to the table. I bring interesting conversation to the table. I bring raw truth and honesty to the fucking table. So when you are going out on a date with me, I'm not just going to be some boring, like, oh, what's your favorite color? Like, that sounds interesting. No, I'm cracking wise. I'm doing jokes. I might sing. Like, it doesn't, you don't know. And it's going to be, like, filled with fun. And I'm slowly realizing now that's why all these motherfuckers want to be friends.
Well, at least you're a good date.
Cause I'm not fucking. I hit on it and do like, oh, you're beautiful and everything like that. But like, god damn it. Yes, I am a great date. What about you? You think you're?
I am an awesome date. I have lots of great conversation. I'm very interested in the other person. I like to do random different things. Like, if someone goes on a date with me, you don't know if it's going to just be like a regular, just like 2-hour dinner, or if the next thing I'll be like, oh, let's go on and do this adventure or this other adventure. Let's go outside and stare at the stars. There's going to be so many things they're going to be doing, and it's all going to be fun. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a great time. I'm going to be a chatty Cathy,
Yes.
and asking questions about you, and we're going to be like connecting, and yeah, I think great date, 5 stars, unless the person's boring, and even then I'm a great date because I can rouse the conversation. I can make it enjoyable, which is honestly, they are not being a great date, but hey, I can do it all on my own.
You can do it all on your own.
I can carry the date. I've carried many a date with lots of people. Well, not lots. Not lots. I haven't carried a lot.
Brother, this guy stinks!
I hate you so much. You're such an obnoxious person. You're such an obnoxious person all the time. You're so ridiculous. Whatever. I'm a great date, and
Oh, brother!
sorry if you haven't gotten a chance to experience it, because it would be one for the books. And I always dress up and look cute, which is another added layer. You're not going to go on a date with someone and be like, oh, what are they wearing? No, it's going to be, this girl looks gorgeous. Mm-hmm. What stupid thing that you want to say?
Nothing. I don't want to say anything.
Let's go. How's your stupid mental health this week?
I don't want to do anything.
Play the thing.
Okay. This is our mental health section, the section of the podcast where we talk about our mental health travels, in which we check in with each other. You know, we're both lucky enough to be able to be in therapy, and yeah, we just like to check in with each other. As for me, I told you the last time we were here that I was thinking about, quitting my therapy sessions because I think I sort of reached a point where we're not really moving the needle when it comes to what we're going to talk about or what we're going to work on or anything like that. I've given myself 2 more sessions. In 2 more sessions, I will decide whether or not I'm going to keep it up or if I'm just going to call it quits.
And have you thought about just going to a different therapist?
No, because like then there's that whole like it takes like a get to know you thing where it's like, well, now that's 2 sessions in a month where it's just we're playing catch up on everything in my life and 2 or 3 it takes 2 or 3 sessions in order to get warmed up and get them to understand my sensibilities and everything like that. And I don't think I want to do that anymore. So I've given myself 2 more sessions, and we'll go from there. I did talk to my psychiatrist earlier this week. We've renewed my prescription, and I actually we meet every 3 months, and now I have to go get a physical, which it's time for me to get a physical anyway. But now I have to go and get like test results because he wants to. I wrote it down somewhere. He wants to monitor something because of the Abilify. I need to make sure that it's not affecting my liver or some bullshit like that. I don't know. Either way.
That's not bullshit. That's a very important thing to find out.
Sure, fine, whatever. Anyway, now I have between now and 3 months in October to go do another fucking physical and then I have to go back in order to get the results because I don't know what the fucking web portal is. So.
Have them send you a new link.
I don't know. I've only been to that one time, and the only reason why I went there was because it was down the street from me, but that was when I was living in Park Slope. And so now I'm living in a different area of Brooklyn that I don't want to say. But now that I'm living in that area, I either have to go all the way over to Park Slope to do my physical or find one over here, and I do not like the idea of finding one over here just because calling it 100 a lot slower. It's a lot slower.
Yeah.
I told you about the one that I used to was roughly in this area, and I was in there for like hours. I had a fucking whole chest pain episode and nobody could figure out anything. Jesus. And to this day, I don't know what the fucking problem was. To this very day. How are you doing? Sorry, how are you doing?
I am here.
Okay.
I haven't had therapy in, I think it has been like maybe more than a month. Because obviously that wasn't working. But I will say, I did something. I have been using the tools that my therapist has given me these last month or so. I've been leaning into those tools so that I could have uncomfortable conversations with people in my life. And I had yet another one. I was very worried about having it. I was stressed out. I really honestly did not want to have it. But as I have said on this podcast before, one of the things, one of the ways that my kind of trauma and just general anxieties have manifested throughout my life is not speaking up when things happen. And so just like letting something just fester and being angry about it on the inside and never telling the other person what's going on, which can undoubtedly negatively impact the relationships. And I have committed to not doing that anymore in any relationship, regardless of what it is, family, friend, romance. I'm going to say what I have to say and say how I feel, regardless of how like ridiculous I think it is, because if I don't do that, it's only going to cause less connection. And I think that what has helped is that I have more people in my life now who are not gaslighting me for saying things to them, which is one of the main reasons I usually don't speak up, because why would I say anything if someone's just going to tell me I'm being over dramatic or sensitive or like, blowing something out of proportion? Because like, I think everyone should remember Everybody's feelings are valid.
Mm-hmm.
Your response to something that somebody does can be overdramatic or something, but your feelings are valid. And if you say that this hurts my feelings, I didn't like that, then the other person is not your turn to argue with me about why what you did is not how I took it, because that's how I took it and that's how I felt about it. And so we now just have to move on, apologize, figure out how we're going to move differently later, and that's it. I try to do that with anyone that I meet, not even just friends or family, anybody. If you tell me you've done something, I can't get defensive and try and change your mind, because that's how you felt.
Right.
I just have to figure out how to change my behavior accordingly. So I'm glad I did that, because I love my friends, and she wasn't doing something to me, but it was just a situation that I was uncomfortable with. But it went well. She listened. We talked about it. Then we had our rent to go talk about something else, and everything ended very well. So I'm glad I was doing that. I can't say I didn't have heart palpitations and a stomach ache and all that, because that happens anytime I have to talk to somebody about something. But I did it anyway, which was very brave.
That's good.
So
I congratulate you on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I tip my hat. I'm not wearing a hat. It's too fucking hot for that. But I tip my hat to you.
And then the only other thing is I started a new job, and thank you very much. And I feel like I'm navigating through old work trauma right now, and I'm not trying to make sure that I feel like I've been so focused on not having the same pitfalls that I experienced at some other jobs, that I've been making myself too anxious about that. And then also just having, I don't want to call it imposter syndrome, because I know that I'm supposed to be here. I know I'm dope as fuck. I know I could do everything that's there. But it's when you start a new job, there's so much information. It's not a small company. It's well known. It's not something that I don't want to mess it up or anything like that. But I've been trying to pace myself so that I'm doing all the things that I need to do, but not driving myself crazy. Because that's not going to help if I'm constantly anxious while for me, trying to read something while I'm anxious doesn't work. I don't retain any of the information, and it's just very stressful. So I'm just trying to take things slow and not try to be the master of everything there at this moment, because everybody at the job has been saying this is all really new. Take your time. And go at a pace or whatever that's good for you, and that's what I'm trying to do. And thankfully they have created a very good training schedule and all that. So I just decided, instead of trying to read every single manual and description on the website, I'm going to strictly follow the plan that they've laid for me. And as I go, if there's more things I need to learn, I will do that. When I'm training, I will focusing on getting the experience and doing the different types of work, seeing if I really understand it or not, and then go from there. Because anything else is going to be extremely stressful and just cause me to not have the best time in this work experience, and that is not what I'm trying to do here or ever. Well, now or ever. But that's it.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. You know what? Here's what I will tell you. Much like with a new relationship, everybody has baggage from their previous relationships. All you can do is be upfront and honest. I guess in this case, be vocal with any sort of questions or any, just professional concerns that you may have. And just try to move forward accordingly, knowing that this situation is not the same as the last situation. The new boyfriend is not the same as the last boyfriend. The new job is not the same as the last job.
Yeah.
And you can't treat them the exact same way. or just because the last one didn't work out in your favor, or because you have trauma from it. Like you have to give some benefit of the doubt while also recognizing within yourself like what those issues are, and then growing past it and moving forward.
Yeah, that's one of those things that I have the most difficulty with, is seeing new things and new people as new things and new people.
Right.
Because I work off of, like, I would say receipts in my head. Like, I enter a situation.
Data inputs.
Exactly. So it's like when I see, like, oh, this person is doing da-da-da-da, and it's bringing up all of the other people who have done things like that, or like, so it's sometimes harder for me to see things as like, this is what they're saying this and they're being genuine. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I feel like that is something that I'm trying to move past. And I know that like trauma didn't come to you in a blink of trauma might happen in a blink of an eye, but you can't get rid of it in the blink of an eye, whether that's in relationships, friendships, work, which is just another type of relationship. And I am really trying to be mindful of that, because I do not want to self-sabotage this relationship, because I'm having to deal with all those other things in the past. Right. So, but that's it.
Okay, fantastic. Which leads us to the point in our podcast where, look, not everything is all sunshines and lollipops. Sometimes stuff gets on our nerves, stuff bothers us, and it's time for us to get our gripes out. This is gripe right here.
Bringing it. What? We gripe it. We're not griping anywhere else. We gripe it. This safe space for us to share. We gripe it. We ain't griping anywhere else. We gripe it.
So do you want to go first, or should I?
You go first.
Okay. So here's the thing. I am lucky enough to be able to get my food delivered to me, right? Uh-huh. And there's a specific app that I've been using called Boxed, where they deliver stuff in bulk, So it's not just like Uber delivery or what have you. It's it's stuff that will last, because I'm not somebody who likes to go to the grocery store once every week or 2 weeks or what have you. I don't like grocery shopping. Grocery shopping is a pain of an experience, and that's time that I could be using to better my life, or sleeping, or doing literally any other thing. I would rather pay a little bit extra to have somebody else go to the store to get my shit than for me to have to get up and walk out and have all these bags in my hand, look at the fucking meats and see like how much they cost, and be like, oh, is this meat better than the other one, and stuff like that. Looking at calories and shit, like, oh, let me look at the periodic table to see how many fucking granolas is in this bullshit. Like, I don't like doing that. Recently, though, Boxed has, as of today, removed the express shop from my area. Ugh. So now all I can do is get like non-perishable foods. Mm-hmm. So like I could still get cereal. I could still get soups, anything in cans and jars. I have my list of condiments. I'm finally gonna get condiments up in my apartment. Yes. So, no longer will it just be hot sauce and barbecue sauce. It'll be...
When do you have barbecue? Where do you have barbecue sauce?
There's barbecue sauce in my refrigerator. Stubbs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anyhow. Question me about my barbecue sauce.
I just can't remember.
It's right there in the... There's one in the refrigerator. I think there's one in the cabinet, because I got two. I got them from Boxed, so I should know. Anyway, Boxed removed the express. So now I have to fucking wander out into the middle of the Sahara sun and braved the elements in order to get fucking groceries because Box decided my area will no longer deliver express. Y'all been doing it for months. I've been here since December and y'all been doing it for months. Once a month, I get my fucking fish. I get my fucking pork chops. Sometimes I treat myself to some berries and raspberries and blueberries and shit because I like to make smoothies, you know? I get my milk. I get my big ass jug of 2% milk from you guys. I just got it like last week or so. Definitely before I went to the fucking wedding.
It was.
And now, y'all aren't not even an option. I'm looking it up just in case because I don't want to be up on this thing and lying, telling all the lies. No, because like in my cart right now, let's see, looking at all of the shit. Look. What do we have? What do we have? There we go. We have no express options in your area. Not at all. This is fucking ridiculous, Boxed. You're on notice, Boxed. I'm not going out to the fucking meat palace all the way out there on Church Avenue. Oops. You don't know where I am. Just because I can go there doesn't mean that that's where I live. I don't want to go to the meat palace. I don't want to walk all that way. It's fucking hot outside. I don't want to have to brave the elements to go grocery shopping and just be a bag boy with like all the bag. Ooh, like now I gotta look for all of my canvas bags because they'll charge me if I get more canvas bags and shit. Like I don't want to. What?
Uber?
I'm not catching an Uber. That's more money. That's more unnecessary money just to go get some fucking meat. And I'm not doing it. It's not happening. I just started getting burger patties. I have changed the game. Instead, like a new protein in my house, burger patties. And I've been chopping those up, eating them with eggs, making a sandwich. I don't have a lot of bread, but now I have to go and fucking get, God! Boxed. If you can hear me, I don't ask for much, but I am asking you to reinstate the express option for my area because it is summertime and the only time that this AC is off is when I'm out of my apartment, not grocery shopping, and when I'm recording this fucking podcast. That is it. That is all. Boxed. You are unnoticed. No. No. Miss me with that bullshit.
Well, you told them.
And then I have another
Okay.
relatively quick one.
What's that one?
I'm actually surprised this didn't come up for the Beyoncé segment. In light of Beyoncé removing spaz from her song, one Miss Monica Lewinsky came up and was like, "Well, if you're removing stuff from songs, can you remove my name from Partition? Because I think that's disrespectful." Honey, Partition is years old at this point. Beyonce, she's not Taylor Swift, okay? She didn't get dicked over by some white dude for royalties and shit. She's not gonna go and re-record all of her old songs to find some fucking loophole, okay? And she's definitely not removing your name from her song. And guess what? If you are going to ask her to do that, I'm tired of these white people asking black women to do shit. I'm just tired of it. Why don't you go after 7? Huh? Because after 7 used your name. Why don't you go
Eminem?
Why don't you go after 2 Chainz? Why don't you go after Eminem? Why don't you go after G-Eazy? Why don't you go after Lil B? Why don't you go after the Migos? Why don't you go after Mac Miller? Oh wait, you can't. He's dead. Why don't you go after Jeezy? Why don't you go after Danny Brown? Why don't you go after Chris Webby? Why don't you go after Kanye West and Kid Cudi? Why don't you go after Eminem? Like I said, why don't you go after Juicy J? Why don't you go after Jay-Z? I know damn well you're not gonna go after Jay-Z. Featuring J. Cole, I might add. Why don't you go after Nas? Why don't you go after Lil Wayne? Why don't you go after Raekwon? You damn sure ain't gonna. You better protect your neck if you're going after Raekwon. Why don't you go after Big Sean? Why don't you go after Lil Kim? You're damn sure not gonna go after Nicki Minaj. All of these motherfuckers have named you. The only I don't want to be disrespectful. I know that you have some trauma from the reason why you are as popular in the pop culture zeitgeist as you are. But honey, if you think that Beyonce of all people is going to remove your name from her very popular fucking sexy song, you got another thing coming. And if you're going to ask her to do it, you better come correct and ask all these motherfuckers to do it. Every single one of the people that I just named. I guarantee it, and I can tell you that Jay-Z is going to look at Beyonce when they're at the fucking Rockefeller picnic or Rockefeller brunch, my bad. And they're just going to look at each other and just like, yo, like they're going to summon Lil Wayne over to the table. Lil Wayne's not invited, but they're going to invite all these motherfuckers who I just named, even After 7. After 7 is actually already there. After 7 is catering. So
You're so stupid.
they're gonna call everybody to the table, and they're gonna look at like, yo, did Monica Lewinsky hit you up? Right? Like that's some stupid shit, right? 2 Chainz is gonna be like, he's gonna call you a word that you don't want to be called. All of them are gonna do that.
See you next Tuesday.
Well, no, the B word.
Oh, the bitch.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just say bitch?
Because I wanted to do it in 2 Chainz voice, and I couldn't get it out. So, Monica, missed me with that bullshit.
So, I remember when she's talked about this over the years. She talked about it when it came out because she was like, shouldn't it be Bill Clinton dolled over my blouse? But that didn't have the same wordplay. And then when she was talking about this again, I saw when people were asking her, like, how come you haven't told all these other people, and she was like, Beyonce's about women empowerment, so I just figured I was disappointed because I love her, and it just was, I can understand her being disappointed, but it's just interesting that you're bringing it up again because she already didn't say yes, so, and people didn't, I think that Monica Lewinsky 100% is owed an apology from everyone because she was only 23, 24 or whatever as an intern being sexually seduced and not victimized, but being coerced into a sexual relationship with the most powerful man in the world. And I think that has to be discussed, and the power differentials were to an extreme. So I 100% understand why something like that would be upsetting to her.
3 6 Mafia again. Did I say?
You didn't. I don't think you did.
Yeah, 3 6
But I
Mafia.
think that it's interesting that she does specifically target Beyonce in these things and not everybody else, because why not everybody else? If you are mad about it, it should always be like, everyone who's doing this thing, stop fucking doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Keep the same energy. Keep that same fucking energy. All right. I want to see what Lil B would have to say.
Something
Fucking
ridiculous.
Chris Webby. Oh, fucking Gorilla Zoe.
Do you think Glorilla is doing
No.
a song with Monica Lewinsky?
Referencing Monica Lewinsky.
Oh, well.
Yeah, Homepage. That's the name of the song. I heard she moved them things. I think she fucking I heard she moved them things. I think she fucking Wayne. She call herself Lewinsky. That means she give him brain.
Well, that one was pretty, compared to the other one, she was being factual. Because, compared to Partition, she was factual. Yeah. Okay. Did you have anything else grinding your gears?
You know what? No, I'm good. Actually, I'll make this really quick. James Franco is going to be starring as Fidel Castro. Hold on. No, my bad.
Oh my God. That was ironic, but not on purpose. But it does.
I forgot that I put that on there for something completely different. The moment passed.
It does coincide with James Franco's behavior.
Yeah, with his behavior. No, so John Leguizamo rightfully called it bullshit. He's not Latino. He's not Latinx. He's not any form of
He has like a percentage of Filipino Portuguese
He
ancestry.
has as much of that in his history as fucking White Feather in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend has Native American blood. Okay, so he changed his name. Oh man, so like, look, there's been a long history of white people playing not white roles. Y'all gotta knock it off. Y'all gotta stop it. We already stopped it with voice actors, okay? Like, we already got Jenny Slate and Kristen Stewart the fuck out of here playing black girls. So that's enough of that. We don't need white people playing people of color at all in any acting roles whatsoever. Okay, I was just saying, get Jimmy Smits or give me Edward James Olmos as Fidel Castro.
I would fucking love Edward James Olmos.
Oh fuck yeah, right?
I would love it. That would be perfect.
That would be awesome. That's all I have.
I mean, honestly, the main reason, I mean, outside of him just being white, one of the main reasons I'm mad about this is the fact that he is a self-confessed, like, I don't know, well, I guess technically he was having consensual sex with students, but he's a creep. He's a sexual creep. And okay, was it his brother who was Dave Franco doing stuff, or was that was the
you're thinking of Casey Affleck?
Okay, so his brother may not have been doing things, thank God, but he was, and I don't believe that all those situations were as consensual necessarily as you're saying, because still at the end of the day, power differential between age, power, money, all those things are into play. And I'm just over these white men able to just do anything they want with no repercussions.
Exactly. Like, so, Jane Franco, you are
whack.
And get the fuck out of my face.
So, my thing. I forgot that we hadn't done it yet. So I sent you a link.
Yes.
And you can cue it up to 121. I will tell you, just for background listeners, Terrell Owens was driving around his neighborhood, and one of his neighbors who was on a bike felt like he was going too fast. So the clip we're about to show you is that he's out of his car, walking around. He's talking. It's like the whole video is about 10 minutes long, so we're not gonna play the whole thing. But he's basically like talking to the police that are in the area. The women's out there are yelling. So she basically was accusing him of driving too fast. And here is the main part that I need you all to listen to.
HBO, my VH1. You the one brought it up, lady. I did it. You did it. You did. First of all, I didn't almost hit her. Sir, no, I'm fine, sir. First of all, I didn't almost hit her.
I understand that. Just relax.
I'm not finna sit up here.
He ran the stop sign.
Well, there is no stop sign. What are you talking about?
I understand that.
I wasn't, but I asked him to slow down, and he got out of his car and started harassing me. He put his car in park.
Right, because you're gonna yell at me and telling me I'm almost hit you, and I didn't.
But you didn't have to get out of your fucking car.
You didn't have to talk to me that way either, Karen.
You're a black man approaching a white woman.
First of all, you had your boy right here, your husband right here. So first of all, I don't do that type of stuff.
Relax. You did. You put your car in park and you came at me.
First of all, I didn't come at you.
Yes, you did.
You can stop all of that, Karen.
Okay, listen.
Get out of here with all of that.
Listen, if you guys want me here, I can solve it.
He literally came after me.
Here she crying.
The fucking tears.
Look at this. This is unbelievable. Swear to God, I've never been a part of nothing like this. I've seen it. I've seen it.
Do you have your ID?
I've seen it. Yes, I've seen it, but this is firsthand.
And now he's online.
Oh boy, and she's crying. Oh my God, this is real. This is real. This is real. Here you go. Here you go, sir. This is real. This is real. This is real. This is real. I've never seen. I've seen it, but I've never been a part of this. This is real life. And now she's crying. Her husband tried to tell her to go in the house, but no, she wanted to do the whole Karen thing. So I'm gonna be here with my camera to show everything. First of all, you need to stop that.
He was speeding through the neighborhood.
He was not. I was in the garage.
You're lying now because I was sitting in the garage.
She said I was First of all, I know what you're saying. No, I get you. I got you. No, this is real. This is real life in 2022. This is real life Karen stuff.
She crying.
I've never seen. I've seen it on TV. I've seen it on video, but I've never really been a part of something like this. This is unbelievable. Then she brought up that I'm the subject of HOA. Said everybody been talking about me, my house. I don't keep up with my house. I got liens. I don't pay my fines. Everything. How do I know? Because she told me. Karen.
I think.
Kate.
Think that's enough?
Close enough, Kate.
I think that's enough. The main thing I wanted you all to hear was the fact that she yelled at him.
Yes.
That he was a black man approaching a white woman, so he should have known better than to get out of his car and say anything to her while she was with her husband. So she's not. So when he said, because you couldn't see her, you just heard. You could just hear her crying in the back. Yeah. But then he's like, well, you had your husband with you. I'm like, so why would you be afraid of a black man coming up to you? I mean, when I'm by myself, a man coming up to me is always like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you talking to me? Yeah. But if there's a man with me, the amount of anxiety is reduced exponentially because there's obviously somebody else here. And if the guy wanted to do something, like this guy who's here could help me out. So the fact that you are now crying and shaking and pretending to throw up because a person called you out and then you decide to be racist is just peak white behavior. And I am not surprised that she did this. I'm not, and it's just very interesting that this happened. They just found that old lady that got Emmett Till killed.
They've been found her.
But like they had found her before, but like they now have like found her. Like they know where she's living. She's in like a hospice care because has cancer and is blind and is just like all the ailments. Karma got her.
Now she doesn't see color.
I'll allow it. But it's like white women, white people in general, they use their whiteness and their tears to cause trouble. And then when you call them out, they want to act like you are the one harming them. And I've just had enough of their shenanigans.
Yeah.
It's just constant. If I could choose, if I had a genie, I would want to split the world up in half, take all the white people out. They all got to go. And then they have to take some sort of test to get in with the rest of us. I would say you probably should. Actually, everybody got to get out.
I was gonna say, like,
everybody.
I would just say transfer all the white people and have them live in Sweden.
But we have
Norway.
to. Well,
one of those places where like the healthcare is nice and everything like that, so that they can.
Well, there are some white people that are not obnoxious and racist and terrible.
I know, and
we can allow them in.
They'll find,
but only like they have to go through a test because I mean, I kind of want my aunt to be. I don't want her to be.
You know what?
I want my family to be there with me. My family's not racist.
My aunt.
I have a few people that I would want to be allowed in. So everybody.
Yeah.
And the reason.
No, you're right.
So when I first said only the white people, we just need to have
Sorry, I almost sent you to Sweden, Sam.
We need to have a whole, take everybody out. And then to get into the good side, back in the good side, you have to take a test. Mm-hmm. Because there are some black people and brown people and yellow people who really love whiteness. So they can stay with the white people. Yeah. The rest of us will be in the normal place where you have normal behavior and just regular, normal human annoyance. Yeah. And not white shenanigans. Yeah. And then I will be at peace. Yeah. Because I can't deal with white people in this form. And I saw this really interesting video.
You have to have I was about to say you have to get a college degree. It can't just be like a psych eval. You know, like it has to be
a degree in anti-racism.
Yeah, something like you have to be able.
You got to go through. Or you know what it is? We'll have a whole program.
It has to be more of a challenge than being a cop.
You have to be You have to go.
Shots fired.
You have to go through.
I need to get a gun. shot fucking drop.
We need to have a full re-education program. And then you can, after you do that, you take the test and you go in. Because we don't want to have any racists, homophobes, transphobes, xenophobes. If you're a phobe, you're getting out. We don't need you because you're not adding anything to our world.
If it's a people phobe, not like arachnophobe.
I mean, I don't like, what is that? What is the thing
claustrophobe.
What's the thing with the dots? Trichophobia or
I know what you're talking about.
That because monkeypox got that in me. That shit I'm stressed out because that is horrible.
For the listeners, take a shot anytime monkeypox comes up on this podcast.
It's going to be coming up a lot because it's horrible and disgusting. But yeah, whiteness is ruining the world. Speaking of monkeypox.
Oh my God.
Well, but it's connected. I was reading an article about how, I believe in 2018, the Nigerian health department had exposed that there were large amounts, the rates of people getting monkeypox was growing. They were concerned. But of course, because it wasn't happening to a white place, just like, oh, cool. Black people got monkeypox. We don't care. And all these European and countries in America were hoarding all these monkeypox vaccines that could have been useful. And now, here we are, worried about being outside again, because now you may not die, but you're going to look like a fucking pomegranate.
Is that what you wanted to say?
Yeah, it's a pomegranate. Look on that.
I'm not
open up a pomegranate and look at what it looks like. That's what you're gonna look like, a pomegranate.
Okay, continue.
And that why? Because of racism. The moment black people were disproportionately impacted by COVID, all of a sudden, we don't want to wear masks. This is against our...
The worst fruit. It's the worst fruit.
I like pomegranates.
I don't care if you like it. I'm just saying it's the worst
fruit.
Why
is it the worst fruit?
You open it up and there's a bunch of little chiclets in there. Just...
I want pomegranates on...
It's all seed.
I want to eat the pomegranates. I don't want to see the pomegranates on people. And that is currently my dilemma and why I'm not going outside to do things. Because I hate this whole situation.
A fucking lie. Like, you were almost beckoned to go outside, like, just to avoid this fucking podcast.
It was okay. You know what? What happened to not bringing off mic things into the on mic?
You opened the door, and I just walked through it.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Anyway,
eye for an eye, eye to eye. I got myself a notion.
Oh my God. Okay, we're done. Go to the next one. Press the button.
All right. Now we're gonna talk about the things that made us happy. Nope. Damn, I'm off today.
I'm the baby merchant. Tots are us. I give you all the service and no damn fuss. Give the baby merchant just a week or two. I'll have your baby for you.
All right, we're here. We're queer. Get used to it.
We're at the home stretch.
So what has made
I started last time. You go
this week.
You go with.
All right.
Oh my goodness. I will go if you need to take some time to do that.
To take a swig of water?
Yes.
I can't take a swig of water?
Because you weren't ready.
You were micromanaging me so hard
This
today.
episode's going to be called I'm Not Micromanaging You, Odie.
You are. I can't even refresh myself.
Nobody's micromanaging
in this
anybody.
hot space.
Oh my goodness.
I'm dehydrated.
Can you go then? Have you been sated?
No, but I can't drink anymore because you're gonna yell at me.
Oh, but or I'm gonna vamp so that you can take a swig. Or I'm just gonna keep talking so that in the time period of me talking, you could pick up your thermos, pour yourself a little cup, drink it, go in a refreshing way. Jeez. Now, having said all of that, great. Now, are you ready?
I've been ready. Oh, it is fun to rile you up a little tiny bit. Teensy bit, because you do it to me so often. So when I take the chance, I gotta leave. All right, things that make me happy this week. Number 1, doing this podcast with you. It's always very fun. I love spending time with you. I love talking about these topics together. It is great. 2, I got to spend time with Wanjika. It was her birthday. Happy birthday. And, well, 3, Beyoncé. That's a given. And number 4, at the top of my list, is I started a new job this week. I'm very excited about it. I'm looking forward to learning a lot of new skills, meeting new people, doing some traveling, and paying all of my bills and having health insurance, which is honestly top of the tops. Yeah, so, and I'm pretty sure we did something last week, but I can't remember what it was, but I know I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. But those things made me happy this week. What about you?
Well, I went to, first off, doing this podcast with you. I always enjoy doing this podcast with you when you're not riling me up and just being obstinate. Constipated. Just inside my stomach.
I'm never obstinate.
Second, I got to watch Back to the Future in the park with you and Danny. Shout out to Danny.
Shout out to you, Danny.
Hopefully, we'll be able to hang out again sometime. Hopefully, sometime soon. Again.
Yes.
Yeah. And, hopefully Keith will be there as well. He's part of the crew. Next up, a big fat congratulations to Sam and Susan, who are officially a married couple.
I love it.
I got to watch and witness their wedding. Everybody looked beautiful. The Seven Ponds in Summit, New York was an amazing place. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Her gown was amazing. Everybody looked great in their suits, with the exception of Bob, who didn't wear a blue suit. He wore a gray suit, but that's neither here nor there. Everybody was dancing up a storm to the various songs. We did the hora, which is where you lift
the chairs,
the man and woman up on chairs. I unfortunately did not get a chance to lift up a chair because I was too busy holding somebody with a cane upright to make sure that they were okay.
You were doing the work that needed to be done.
She grabbed me and was just like, "Can you hold me?" I'm like, "Okay, you're in your 30s, like me." Like, what the fuck? Like, because I thought it was like an older person, and then I looked. I was just like, "Man, you listen to The Weeknd, fucking ass." So I gave my best man speech, and I knocked that shit out of the park.
Of course you did.
Wish I had recorded it. I did not. I should have asked somebody to record it so that I could go back and watch it again. But overall, oh yeah, I also got high on shrooms and shit, which was fun. Again, not the experience that I thought it would be, but it was still a fun experience. I didn't bring my swim trunks, so I couldn't swim in the pond, and I did not want to swim in the pond in my shorts. But overall, a very glorious occasion. My best friend and my best friend's wife, who herself is an amazing motherfucking person. Two amazing people bring their lives together. It's always beautiful to see. And that's everything that made me happy this week.
And I'm glad that happened. Still salty that somebody decided not to come too late in the game so that I could not take their spot.
I still to this day don't know what the story with that is. I'm not going to hazard a guess, but I'm assuming it's something personal.
Well,
we'll see.
Still, fuck you. Just kidding. I hope everything's okay. But also,
I also hope that everything is okay.
Still annoyed.
Yeah. We might be able to see, well, I might be able to see if we end up doing D&D on Sunday, but we'll see. Well, I guess I won't be doing D&D on Sunday. Oh, it depends if it's supposed to rain this weekend, so, we'll see. We'll see.
But thank you for listening to us for another week of the Black and Snerdy podcast.
As always, thank you very much for listening, and we will be back next time with more of this. So, take it easy, keep it sleazy.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snerdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snerdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorish is Legit. That's Licorish is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's that's OD THATSOD.E, and on Twitter THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Snerdy podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.